So once you've had some practice submitting information for a month or two, really got some good posts, like I'm talking 30 to 50 posts on your blog, I think it's time at that point to start enhancing the look. Now, I'm not saying that the look is as important as content. In that sense, I'd say the content that you're putting on your website is twice as important. I would take a content-filled, super ugly website over a super flashy, fancy website any day of the week. Problem is that the search engines don't index fancy. They index words and content and descriptions and stuff like that. So don't get too caught up in the presentation when you get started, but you'll want to start enhancing the look, because even though it's not as important content, it's still important. Now, in terms of the look of your website or your blog, I'd say it comes down to three things that you want to be really consistent about. There's one, the logo. So you want a neat looking logo or something that at least says your name in it and looks professional. You'll want a color scheme that corresponds with the logo, so it all matches up. And then eventually you'll want a graphical theme that will kind of tie everything together. Now, if you look at MBodyStrength.com, you'll notice that we have our logo. It's black white with a red oval around it. Throughout the website, you'll see a lot of black, white, and red, and then there's also another color. It's a bright green, and that kind of accents some of the other stuff we do. So those are two of the elements. The graphical element that you see is the splats. You'll see those splats throughout the whole website, and it's kind of like a constant theme in the header, and then in different graphics we use around different pages. Now, a lot of stuff you're not going to know how to do initially, but you can either learn, or at that point you could talk to some kind of graphical designer about doing something that you could do yourself constantly. It is important that you know how to do basic things like upload the content and change your background color or change the accent colors around the website. And on WordPress.com, they make a lot of these preferences pretty easy to designate. And you're going to have to mess around with it. Don't expect it to be like, okay, you're just going to jump in there. It's going to know exactly how to change all this stuff. Nobody's going to show you exactly how to do anything. So just get on there, mess around with it, and then eventually you'll get the hang of it, and you'll be able to do it a lot easier. But it's going to take a little bit of time to learn. But don't be afraid of that, because that'll help you on every other website and every other online thing you do just by doing it this one time. Also, in terms of the look and presentation of the website, it's important that you get a domain name that is easy to read, easy to remember, easy to type out, and kind of goes with your theme of your website. What you don't want to do is have something that's a little bit too clever and a little bit too complicated to remember, or just lame. So what I would do is, one, do your name. In my case, it would be markdegrasse.com. For personal trainers, that's really important, because you want people to be able to find you really easily. Now, if you have a really complicated name, then I might make it simpler. My name is Mark DeGrasse, so I might have Mark DeGrasse, and then also have markd.com, just to make it a little bit simpler for people to type in. Okay, so let's say your business name. Now, let's say that your business name is Extreme Fitness Professionals. You don't want to get too clever with it and say like, the letter X dash Treem fitnessprofessionals.com. One, people aren't going to read it like that, and when you tell people about it, they're probably going to type it in wrong, and then you just lost a a potential client or customer or something. So instead, you want to keep it simple, and you want to keep it short. So for Extreme Fitness Professionals, I would say Extreme Fitness Pros.com, which incidentally is currently available. Go for it if you want to use that. That's seems like a pretty good name to me. But anyway, you want to keep it simple. Another thing you'll notice we do a lot on any kind of emails or any time we're presenting our website name is we capitalize the first letter in each word. So for MBody Strength, we capitalize the M, the B, and the S. And what that does is it kind of separates the domain name, so it's easier to read, anytime you see it. So, instead of a bunch of lowercase letters and you kind of have to look at it and kind of determine what it is, you instantly can see what it says and, be more likely to remember it and then click on it the more you see it.